In this video, we're actually going to be using a canvas that got some paint on it, and we're going to go back to the basics. We're going to go ahead and learn a little bit more of atmosphere. We're going to go back to clouds. I want to take our time on it. We're going to use a couple different brushes to see how it works. All right, enjoy. So as you can see, this canvas got some blue paint on it, probably at one of our painting events. No big deal. I always tell people, don't throw away your canvas, even if it's got some paint messed up on it. We can cover that. In fact, I got my brush and I'm going to put a little bit of white paint on there and just put white paint right back over it. So check that out. This is acrylic paint that I'm using, and I always teach this that, you know, if you make a mistake or mess up, you can use acrylic paint, put it right back on top of it. It almost works as a primer. So you can see that we actually, you know, covered that up. Now, what I want to do is just keep it going. I want to actually just make some sky. So it's okay, that paint is a little wet, and I'm just going to go with it. And I'm going to go ahead and start painting a nice blue atmosphere. Now it has a little bit of that white that I just used blending into it, which is totally fine. And I'm getting a nice flat brush. I'm going back and forth and just kind of dispersing this paint as far as I can go without putting any more paint on my brush. And what it does is it gives that paint a little bit of chance to dry. It also starts smoothing it out. Now with an atmosphere, your darkest blue is going to be up top, so I want to start getting a little bit lighter as I go down, so I just put some plain white on that same brush. There's going to be some blue still on it, so it's going to turn a little bit of blue, light blue. But check that out. And I'm just kind of going back and forth. Now you can try to go up and down, side to side, see how it works, but you've got to get a good feel for that paint. Now you can see it's really lightening up, so I'm going to go ahead and put some more blue and white. Now it's okay, so you can see, look at that. It got kind of a nice bit of blue down here. No worries, I'm going to add more white and that will tone it down. So again, just making your backgrounds is sometimes the nice, easy step to really get a good feel of your paint, and try like a gradient effect while you're doing it. So you can see I'm just bringing this down, and it's a real light blue down below. And we'll put some clouds over some of this atmosphere too, just to like really, you know, add some depth. And we're going to practice with a couple different brushes, but it's just really nice just to kind of go back and forth and blend some of these light blues together. You want to cover all of the little bits and pieces on your canvas. The little dots that might be showing through. Now you can see there's still that blue right here that just popping through. No big deal. I'm going to put a cloud right over that. You won't even see it. And there you go. It's kind of a fun back and forth. I'm using a 1.5 inch brush. That covers a lot of canvas real quick. But again, all it was is blue and white, just plain blue and white, and you have a nice atmospheric kind of feel. And we're gonna have some fun painting some clouds here and get a good feel for it. All right, let's get this started. We're gonna go ahead and start off with our round brush here. You can see we're gonna start with this one, and then we'll work over to a flat one, but I wanna try the differences between the two, just on making clouds. All right, so I've got my blue and my white in my palette here. I'm just gonna go ahead and put some plain white. This is still drying off a little bit, but we're gonna start over here in this corner, and what we're gonna do is just kind of do a circular motion. And we're gonna kind of almost do like a versus. I wanna see, you know, the difference between the round brush and your flat brush. But I'm taking the paint and it's just circular motion, almost blotting and dabbing a little bit. And you can see it's bringing a nice bit of texture on there. It really actually turns out pretty good with the round brush. There's lots of imperfections that start to come out, as you can see, as you go along with doing the actual movement. And you can add highlights with a second layer if you wanted to add some brighter clouds. And I'm just layering layers and layers of this atmospheric cloud. It's looking pretty, actually. That's a big round brush. You can get some smaller ones too. And I'm just going to expand this out a little bit and see how it fades off into the sky there. We'll see how it works. Again, we're taking our time. I'm going to add another, maybe like a thunderhead starting to form right there. And it's just about really getting your movement right with your brush and just getting a feel for how this acrylic paint works. I'm using real basic stuff. You can click on the link below. It's you can get this all at Michael's. And really just try out different paints. I'll do kind of a tutorial on some of those too. But there you go. That's kind of a good snapshot really quick of some light clouds. Again, we're using the round brush. It was really good. I liked how it faded out, meaning a lot of it was real bright here, you can see, and then this round brush was really good on taking and kind of like fizzling it out and just adding a lot of textures. I'm getting a lot of textures on this. I do like that. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch over to a flat brush. I'm going to try this guy out, just a straight flat brush right here. All right, it's flat edge, and we're going to try to do some of the same movements and see how it differs. All right, I'm putting plain white on that, and I'll start over here with this guy. Now this one obviously put a big clump of paint on pretty quickly. All right, it took the paint and it really went with it very, very fast. And I'm having to actually disperse the paint quite a bit more off this brush. You can see I haven't put any paint on there, and I'm still going. Now, I'm not getting the same kind of texture that I did for sure as the round brush. So it's really, I don't know, it's definitely a different feel. You know, you have to be a little bit more precise with your clouds. It does fizzle off a little bit, but that's only because the paint is wearing off my brush. And you can see it does, you can see there's a little bit more of a kind of a cooler texture, I think, on these, but let's go ahead and add another layer and just see what that does with our flat brush. All right, that looks pretty good. And it looks like we're getting some good stuff out of that. All right. Once I added the second layer, so that's all my chimes and everything going off at work or here at home. And then I'm going to add some streaks. I'm going to go back to the round brush. I think that worked a little bit better. In fact, you know what? Let's try this. Let's try the big brush, see how that works. Whoa! Look at all that coverage. That covers a ton. And look at that, blue's gone. Beautiful clouds, beautiful. Jesus. All right, so as you can see, it was just real quick, some basic steps. We used a couple different brushes just to really mess around with it and try to make some clouds. Again, we started off with a little bit of highlights, and then you add more layers, blotting, dabbing, just very gentle. Again, there's two colors, blue and white, so hopefully you got this. We'll add a little bit more, we'll add some trees onto this and keep this painting going. Thanks.